Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Conversation That Matters Most. My name is Claudette Chenevert, and I'm known as the Stepmom Coach. And I'm here with my co-host, wonderful friend, and amazing sidekick that keeps me going when sometimes I don't feel like going, Sharona. Hi, Sharona.
Hi, Claudette. Hi, everybody. Hi. Well, I'm waving way up here. You can't see my. Hi. Glad to be here today with you, Claudette, as always. And welcome everybody to Conversations That Matter Most.
Yay! So we want to just welcome you. If this is the first time you're joining us, welcome, and I hope you enjoy our episodes. And if you've been with us before and you're coming back, welcome, welcome. We're really happy. And just to share a little bit the context from which we are doing these shows, Sharona and I met a little bit over 6 months ago. So this is our 6 months, and which is appropriate since we are calling this show the halfway mark, and we want to talk about halfway points and stuff like this, and being lost and getting found and things like this. So, but just to get back on track, we started this about 6 months ago, where we were having really great conversations about all kinds of topics. And we felt that wouldn't it be great to share these kinds of conversations with other people where, help them jumpstart, their own thinking process. So the idea behind this isn't for you to be thinking like us or to, criticize or judge. But if you want to, just you're free to do whatever you want. We just may not be listening to your criticism or judgment. Just saying. But the thing is that this is a place for you to jumpstart your own conversations with other people that are important in your life. And, because when you're having deep, meaningful conversations, that's when a lot of insights come to you. And that's what happens a lot of times with Sharona and myself, where we're having these really great conversations, and all of a sudden we're having all these light bulb moments. So we want to share these conversations with you in hopes that, you may have these light bulb moments, or at least help you think about the process and help you to, decide if this is something that is meaningful to you or not, and you want to dig deeper. Now, if you do want to dig deeper and have meaningful conversations with us, we're always open and always available to listen to what you have to share out of respect, always. No judgment, no criticism. This isn't a bashing session. This is a place to share. And you can always do that in the bottom, in the comment section. We'll always be happy to listen and to reflect. Sharona, anything you want to share?
No, I think you covered it all very nicely, Claudette. Once again, awesome. And yeah, and you know what? I just want just my 2 cents. No, let's make it a nickel. I always appreciate hearing what our viewers have to say and express, and because sometimes we get ideas from you all, things that you are dealing with. And so sharing is caring. Anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. So today we want to talk a little bit about halfway point, where half of the year is gone. And as Sharona and I were talking, sometimes you're sitting there and you're wondering, okay, what have I done? And just before coming on the show here, for this episode, I was sharing with Sharona how sometimes I feel lost. Yeah, sure. I work with some stepmoms. I work with a lot of people in helping them, find their way. But that doesn't mean that we don't have our own issues as well. And so I was sharing with her that, I was feeling a little lost, out of sorts. And we were sharing that, like, I feel like in the fog. Have you ever felt it being in the fog? How about you, Sharona? I know you weren't in the fog. You were sharing what you were feeling, but
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
moment, I'm feeling in the fog.
Okay, so Claudette is in the fog. I am in a blinding sandstorm in the middle of the desert, being pelted by little granules of sand, and I can't see it. I can't see any light. It's windy, it's noisy, and I'm slogging. It's a word. I'm slogging. I'm trudging and slogging through the sand, and as you walk on sand, you sink. And I think I'm up in an incline. I have no idea where I'm going, and I'm thirsty. And I came up with that also. Yeah, thank you. I came up with that feeling like that's right now as I'm at my midway point. And yeah, I agree with you, Claudette, that even though we are working with, you work with stepmoms, I work with midlife women, doesn't mean we're not human or an earthling. And we go through these moments where we're going, I feel lost, confused, have no idea what my next step might be, but I'm going to keep moving forward. I have no idea where that's going to lead me. And so we experience that with like all our viewers. I'm sure there are viewers out there who are maybe not in the sandstorm or in the fog, but they may be feeling, lost.
Yeah. Yeah, lost or at least confused, as to what to do next. And as we were talking yesterday, Sharona and I, we were sharing about, this is the midpoint in our year. And as we were talking, I discovered, like, wow, I did quite a bit of stuff. So, sometimes, you know in life, we're so focused about going forward that we forget to look backwards. Like when you're driving, there's the rear view mirror. Well, actually, it would be here, like rear view mirrors or the little side mirrors. You're looking backwards. And, have you ever driven down the road and it's a nice mountainous road? There's nice scenery. You're looking in front. Everything's nice. But all of a sudden, you look in the rearview mirror and it's like, wow, this is pretty awesome. This is like really nice. But you just passed there. You were so busy focusing on what's in front that you forgot to look what's happening. So sometimes I feel like that. What about you, Sharona?
Yeah, and I think sometimes we gotta just, that's why I think looking at like or keeping notes or keeping a journal or keeping tabs of what we've done. I was going through some posts that I had on my website, and I forgot I had this awesome post that I'm gonna use because I forgot. And so I think, sometimes we say, we don't want to hang out in the past, but we need to review what we have done so far. So that way we feel like, oh, wait, I have I have done this. So for instance, let's say we decided we were going to change our eating habits. And we decided that we wanted to maybe cut sugar from our diet. So, and this was one of our goals for New Year. So here we are in July, the halfway mark, and we're going, okay, I did cut it out. It was a struggle. And look at me now. Look at what I have accomplished from doing that. So sometimes we forget to celebrate our mini or baby little steps that have built to this point. And,
Mhm.
I'm just, so yeah, looking in the rear view mirror, not that we're going to hang out there and, we're not talking about that. We're talking about, well, let's just see what we have done so far and let's review that.
Yeah, I like what you said. Like, we're not looking in the rearview mirror doesn't mean we're hanging out in the past, right? Um, they and you were talking about your blog. Well, as we were talking, one of my goals was to write an article each month for Stepmom magazine. Well, I'm way ahead. Like, I'm writing for September now. So it's like, wow, I did it. I did, like, I'm almost done my year, and I've written for every month, which is really, I'm really, really pleased. And I had, like, a schedule that I wanted some courses done, and I have half. And I often see, like, whenever I'm working with some moms, the same thing. Like, we're working on goals, we're moving forward. They started out being chaotic, like you were talking about, cutting out sugar in your diet. Well, sometimes it's just for some stepmoms just trying to have more fun times with their stepkids, coming together and enjoying being with their stepkids. And the thing is that when you're moving forward progressively, little baby steps at a time, it's hard sometimes to notice that the progression you made. And sometimes we feel lost. We feel like, for me, I feel like in the fog, because I'm feeling I have no idea where I'm going. Everything is blurry. I feel like I want to move forward, and yet I don't feel like it. But when we had that conversation, you and I, Sharona, yesterday, it was like, oh, well, you know what? That fog isn't that bad, because that fog is lifting. You're my little beacon of light shining. Hey, come here. This is where you are. This is what you've done. This is pretty cool. So this is so great. Like, to have that beacon of light. Well, for my fog anyways, like my lighthouse.
Right.
So, and that's what I do for stepmoms too. I'm that little beacon of light, and just telling them, remember when you first came to me, this is what you did. We're halfway there, and you've done a lot of progress, right?
Right. And I like that, the little beacon of light. And, and it reminds me, as you were talking, is that we cannot, and I tell this to my midlife women that I work with, you cannot do midlife or life journey itself by yourself. You cannot do this as a lone wolf. We all need other people to help us through that. So it could be your support network or your wisdom circle or whatever, or it could be a professional, as you and I, Claudette. But we need each other to help us, remind us, because a lot of times what we do, especially us midlife women, I'm sure stepmoms might do this too, is we start nitpicking of what we didn't do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We start going, oh, well, I was going to do this and I didn't do it, blah, 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 beat myself up. Oh boy, that whole thing. And I know I'm guilty of that. I get lost in that bad neighborhood within my head that's telling me you're not good enough. So this is not about, reviewing what we've done so far is not another opportunity to beat ourselves up or make ourselves wrong. It's about saying, okay, maybe I didn't get all the sugar out of my diet, but at least I made some effort, and I'm going to keep going forward the best I can. It's that willingness to keep going. And also, maybe, if it's something, maybe, as we're going forward, as midlife women, and maybe it's a career change, and I came to a certain point, and I realized that no, that's not the career I want to do anymore. Maybe it's, then I can take a pause on the journey and say, okay, well, now it's time to research what would be next. So I think a lot of times we need to, as we're reviewing, is not go into that dark closet and, sequester us from that, but it's asking for help, saying, this is what I wanted to do. I haven't quite got there. What are some steps I can take to keep going forward?
Yeah. And I like what you said about, putting the effort. And I think that's important to remember that anytime you put an effort into doing something, it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. It doesn't mean it's going to be exactly the way you're going to. But, remember what it was that you're thriving for or striving to achieve, right? So you're on this journey. You started with a starting point, and there's a place you want to get to. Now, obviously, life isn't about getting to a specific place. It's a journey, so they're stepping stones. But those stepping stones are important to help you evaluate, like, am I achieving what I want? And I think it's important, whether you're a stepmom, whether you're midlife, whoever you are, to reevaluate where we are at this point. And so that's why I like the midpoint. Like July is a good time to reevaluate where you are, and just to do a little bit of reviewing of what you've done, and take those steps and realize those are steps you've taken that you would not have taken before had you not wanted to do something different with your life. So whether it's in relationships, whether it's around your health and activities and your exercise, your career, whatever it is, any steps you do to move you forward is a step in the right direction. Yeah, of course, we'll do some course corrections. Any GPS will always say, like, let's do a detour because there's like a roadblock there. Well, it's the same with life. So, take this time, this midpoint, to look back, and especially if you're in a fog, I think that's a good sign, or in a sandstorm, as Sharona said. I think it's a good time to take a moment and reevaluate where you are. And if you're still going in the right direction, or maybe it's time to change direction. Maybe it's time to do something different. Maybe it's time to add or delete a few things that you had planned on doing.
Yeah, and I think that's a good idea. Review and evaluate, what's working and what's not. It might be, there's a certain point when we're going on this journey and we go, well, that ain't working. I put all this effort in and it's just not happening. So maybe I'll need to let that go and try something else.
And I just want to share, Sharona, and that's a really good point, right? Like, if at this point, at this midpoint, that whatever you thought was a good idea, and now as you're moving forward, you're realizing this ain't a good at all. This is really stinking. And so if you know this, it's not going to get better at the end of the road. It's only going to get worse. So if you know this isn't working now, then it's a good time to change your direction. Do a course correction. Do of your GP, whatever. Do something different. But if you know this isn't the right path you're in, it's time to take a different direction. And that could be really, really hard to take another direction, especially if you're not sure where that direction is.
Right. And I think that's one of the things is we get to one of the things as we're doing a midlife, midpoint review, we cannot, look at, you know, uh, do a little, I like to call it a little research investigation. I don't need to have all the answers. I can just say, well, this is where I am. I'm feeling a little lost, confused, bewildered. Oh, I just came up with bewildered. What the heck is going on? But I can say, well, let me go poke at this, or let me look over here, or let me check this out, or let me talk to somebody, or this is a good time to say, is this really what I want? Is this really what I really want? Is this being aligned with my values at this moment in time? My beliefs, whatever that is, we can always check in and then again ask somebody, an outside person, to do a reality check. Um, years ago, I ran the San Francisco Marathon. It was just something I got into my head to run the San Francisco Marathon, and I think I share this, but I still use this as an example, even though this was years ago, because this was a real good. This taught me two things, many things, but the two things that came away with is coaching, or as a profession, and also that things, life, marathons, whatever you're doing is a process, and you have to take there's little, as you talked about, Claude, little stepping stones, little milestones, little pointers on the road to let us know where we are on our journey. I am not a runner. I don't like to run. I have never run fast. I'm more of a mosier. Even when I'm jogging, it's slower than how some people walk. I move very slowly. Even though I have high energy, my rhythm is very slow. And I remember that first day out, I was supposed to run 1 mile. 1 mile. Oh my God, I thought my body was going to kill me. I thought it was and then each week we build miles up. Each week the training had us, build miles and different terrains, and I had a coach, and we build it up. So the same thing when we're in this midway point and in our life, it's a process. It's not a final destination. We're just going towards something. We're trying to create a life where it's about thriving wholeheartedly in body, mind, and spirit. And every day we take these little steps to get us to where we want to go. And I always think that we need to review of what we've done so far and what we need to readjust so that we can get to so that we're thriving daily. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I think it's a good place to have our viewers to take a moment and help them to reevaluate. So we've shared a lot of stuff here today, as we always do. There's a lot of great tidbits for you to digest. And I invite you to re-listen to what we just shared here. This is a halfway point in the year, and oftentimes we will these big giant goals, whether it's around our health or relationship or work, whatever it is, and then we realize, like, where am I? And you feel lost, you feel in the fog, in the sandstorm, you feel lost, you're not sure. And maybe you're not. Maybe you're the type of person who actually knows where they're going all the time. Great. But for those of you who may be feeling lost, this would be a good time to just, sit and reflect on what you've already achieved. Look back in the rearview mirror and look at all the little steps you've done to move yourself forward, and congratulate yourself. And then decide if this is still the right path for you to be on, or if it's time to do some course correction. And then, congratulate yourself for moving forward. Anything else, Sharona, you want to add to this?
No, I think that covers it. And I'm gonna suggest to the listeners and our audience and viewers to, as you re-listen to this, take notes. Other things will pop into your head as you're listening, and also, to support each other. Comment below of how you're going to celebrate your baby steps, your progress, your process. Put that in the comments below. We like, because that will inspire others on this journey with you. And I want to just thank everybody for being here again. And Claudette, another wonderful episode, a lot of information. And you know what? If you have a stepmom who may be feeling lost in the fog, in the desert, wherever they may be feeling lost, and they might need to, have some extra help around the midpoint in their life, how can they get a hold of you, Claudette?
Thank you, Sharona. So just as Sharona said, if you're a stepmom and you're feeling lost, you have questions, you're wondering where to go, I'd love to help you. I'd love to talk with you about, what is going on. And I can be reached at my website, which is stepmomcoach.com. There's a lot of resources there. There's also some e-classes that you might be interested in doing. They're great little classes where, there are 6 modules, and they can really help you move forward in what you need to do. You can also follow me using hashtag stepmomcoach or stepmomwisdom. Those are the 2 hashtags I currently use, along a few others. And you'll find me on all various social media. And, again, if you comment below, I'll be happy to answer any of your questions, support you in your journey, and help you move forward. So Sharona, now, if you're a not a stepmom, well, yeah, stepmom, but if you're a midlife woman, and you have a foggy brain, like I sometimes do, and you're wondering, where am I going, in this midlife life of mine? What's my next step? Because sometimes being a midlife woman is not glamorous. Sometimes we're maybe more mixed up than when we were younger. It's a lot more complicated. So Sharona, if any of our listeners or viewers are in that predicament, how can they reach you to get some that beacon of light that you offer?
Thanks, Claudette. So if you're a midlife woman and you're going, what the heck is going on, and where the heck am I going? You can reach me at midlifewomendancingwithchange.com. You can reach me at Sharona at midlifewomendancingwithchange.com. You can also reach me on social media with hashtag midlifewomendancingwithchange.com. No, .com, just midlifewomendancingwithchange. And I would love to have a conversation with you about, are you actually thriving in your midlife, or are you just surviving? And are you ready for to thrive wholeheartedly in body, mind, and spirit? So, and also comment below, comment on my Facebook, and let me know what's going on. And again, love to have a conversation. So, yay. Yay.
So, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of our little family here. And, you know, if you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed what we just shared, you know, subscribe to our channel. We have 26 plus episodes now. Since we're midpoint, that's about how many, because we've done them every week. And so check out our other episodes, and you know, share them with your family, friends, coworker, or someone you think might need this information. That would be great. And we look forward to seeing you and hearing from you. So Sharona, any last words?
Not at this moment. But thank you for being here with us, everybody. And of course, Claudette, it's always a pleasure and an honor to hang out with you, even if you're in the fog and I'm in a sandstorm. Somehow we get together. So thank you.
With you. I enjoy being with you too, Sharona. We have a great time together.
We do. We do. So bye, everybody. See you the next time.
Bye. Take care.